Hello, today we're going to be talking about metric conversion, metric to US, US to metric, and direct measurements. This is on sections 5.3, 5.4, and 5.5. Here's a chart that just gives you an idea about some of the things metric. I know that a lot of you are familiar with some of these like kilo, centi, milli, even micro possibly, because we've heard of things like kilograms or kilometer, centimeters, millimeters, milliliter, and those kind of things. And so micro often has to do with some measurement with medication or something. And then some of these other ones too, like a terabyte, gigahertz, megawatt. You've heard of some of these things, but we don't always deal with them a whole lot because we know the terminology, but we don't use metric measurement much in our country. And then here's just some common ones to kind of help you get a picture of what this looks like. I got some of these, I think these are all from your textbook. The picture of the foot. So you see in relation to a yard, there are 3 feet in 1 yard. And then a meter is a little bit longer than a yard. So just as a comparison, I think a meter has about 39 point something inches versus a yard that has 36 inches. And then this paper clip is about 1 centimeter in width, and then the actual wire of the paper clip is around 1 millimeter, which is a very small measurement. A lot of you have looked at this on rulers or something, and maybe even used it sometimes if you were trying to measure something, because those millimeters are very small increments. And then these are just some of the metric units up here in the blue, right? 1 centimeter is 10 millimeters, a meter is 100 centimeters or 1,000 millimeters, and then a kilometer is 1,000 meters. Now, these are on your, or at least what you need is on your conversion charts, and the conversion charts are going to be something that you want to just kind of keep handy because you'll be using them for lots of different conversions on the last lesson and this lesson. Okay, so these are the conversion steps. We talked about these in section 5.2. Set up the units first, fill in the appropriate numbers, multiply across like you multiply fractions. So whatever's on top you multiply, and on bottom numerator, denominator. All right, so let's set up this first example. We're going to write 0.08 grams over 1. We are converting to milligrams. So to cancel out grams, I need to have them diagonal from each other, and my milligrams goes here. Now, you can look this up on your chart and see there are 1,000 milligrams in 1 gram. So once again, the milli, that gives a really small measurements. You know, it means 1,000, and that can be helpful. We cross out the grams because, right, that's what we're trying to do. Cancel out one unit so that we get to our other unit. It's called unit canceling. If I multiply 0.08 times 1,000, it is 80 milligrams. Now notice on the bottom all I had were ones in the denominators. 1 times 1 is 1, so we just drop the 1. It's okay to drop the 1 when it's in the denominator. All right, let's take a look at this next one. So we have 64,600 cubic centimeters. I'm going to write it like this. It's just a little bit shorter for writing it here. I'm going to write that over 1, and then I'm multiplying it to get rid of cubic centimeters. Oh, let me just do this again. And go to liters. A capital L is a good abbreviation for liters, so let's use that. It might be on your conversion chart. I would have to look. And then there are 1,000 cubic centimeters in 1 liter. So 1,000 cubic centimeters in a liter. That means I can cancel out my centimeters cubed or cubic centimeters, however you want to say that. We are going to divide this time by 1,000. And I can just cross out, right, some zeros here, and then 646 divided by 10 is going to give me 64.6 liters. Now, this method of unit canceling is honestly the best way to set these up. Many people think, oh, I don't have to do it that way. I can set this up in a different way. And some of you possibly can, but a lot of times students multiply when they should divide or divide when they should multiply. And of course, then you haven't converted it accurately. Okay, so on this next one, it actually takes several conversions. I kind of have to divide my page here a little bit. So to go from kilometers to centimeters is going to take a little bit more steps than we usually do. And then I'm going to convert hours to seconds as well. So we have to go through a few steps here. We start out with 12.5 kilometers in 1 hour. Okay. Now I need to convert. If you look at your conversion charts, you will see that you don't have centimeters to kilometers or kilometers to centimeters. So I'm going to first convert it to meters. Now, how do I know I have to do that? Well, just because you can't find it on your chart, but you can go from kilometers to meters, then meters to centimeters. And that's what we have to do. So we put the meters. Remember, we have to put these on the diagonal to cancel out the parts that we need to cancel. I'm not going to do the hours yet. I'm going to go ahead and do this part first. So 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer, 100 centimeters in 1 meter. You see that my kilometers cancel, my meters cancel, and then I just multiply straight across, and I get a lot of zeros. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 5, and then I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros, and then I'm going to divide. Well, I'm not going to divide yet. I put one extra, hold on. I put one too many zeros there, so I had to take that out. Just a second here. All right, centimeters. Okay, so I had, I need to have 4 zeros because I'm moving the decimal 5 times, right? So 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to now convert my hours to seconds. Because remember, we were doing 2 different conversions here. Okay, and then in 1 hour, and this is on your conversion chart, there are 3,600 seconds. I keep having something going on over here. Now I can eliminate my hours, and then I take 12, what is this? 1,250,000 centimeters divided by 3,600. I'm going to go ahead and write this out. And with that, we're going to get 347.2. Now the 2 is repeating. And we're going to round this to 3 significant digits, which would be 347. And that is centimeters per second. All right. Let's look at our next example. So on this one, we're going from kilometers to meters, and then we're going from hours to minutes. So we have to convert a couple of different things. So we just start out 246 kilometers in 1 hour. Notice I'm going ahead and putting the HR. I feel like just to remind you, the H is fine if you just want to use that. And then I'm going to convert to meters. It doesn't matter which one of these you put first. You can put the hours and minutes or meters and kilometers. So I'm going to go to minutes and then fill in my numbers. So I get to cancel out my hours. I get to cancel out kilometers. There are 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer and 60 minutes in 1 hour. Remember, my conversion factors always have to equal 1. So 1,000 meters is equal to 1 kilometer. So you can see that it does equal 1. 1 hour is 60 minutes, so that equals 1. And that is an important part of this. Now I'm going to multiply 246 times 1,000. I get the right number of zeros on here this time. And then I'm dividing by 60. That's going to be meters per minute, which is what we want. So it's 4,100 meters per minute. All right. Okay, so I think we can get one more question done on this video. In this, in Taipei, Taiwan, there is this building that is 509 meters tall. Its elevators are the fastest in the world, rising at 60.48 kilometers per hour. How many seconds would it take for an elevator to rise the entire height of the building nonstop? The first thing that I would suggest is that we just convert the 509 to kilometers, because this is in kilometers, and I think that will help us with this. So let's take 509 meters and convert to kilometers. Now we've already used this a couple of times, right? There's 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer, so we simply have to divide, and we get that it is 0.509 kilometers. All right. Now we're going to go from kilometers to how many seconds would it take for the elevator to rise. So we're basically going to end up with a unit of seconds on this. So we'll set this up over 1. And it's weird here. This is actually one of your conversion factors, because for this particular elevator, in 1 hour, it's 60.48 kilometers in 1 hour. Now we have to kind of set it up a little bit different, because we have to put the kilometers on the bottom so we can cancel those out in 1 hour. Now 60.48 kilometers per hour is kind of hard to think about when we're looking at it, like how many seconds is this going to take. So this will help us here. We're going to have 3,600 seconds in 1 hour. So now I have it set up for my conversions. My initial one was just to take it to kilometers, and now I can get my time in seconds. So we multiply in the numerator, that's 1832.4, and then my denominator is still 60.48. When I divide this and round, I end up with 30.3 seconds. So this elevator will rise from bottom to top in just about 30 seconds, which seems to me to be super fast. It goes 500 feet, and that is the speed in seconds. So I'm going to pause this now, or stop this video and pick it up on the next one for more of this lesson.